You are about to watch me teach my students live, not scripted, not polished, no trying to look perfect, look, no over editing. So, real coaching, real strategies. And I want you to get a real breakthrough. So, this is your window into how I coach entrepreneurs, how your money, your mindset, and last but not least, your marketing strategy can make you millions of dollars in any line of work that you are, especially for us entrepreneurs. We have the capability to change the world. So when those three things line up that I just mentioned, this is when your businesses will scale. So don't just watch this, study it, take notes, pay attention, and implement. And if you want to experience something like this live with me, opt in, show up to my free webinar, and let's go to the video. Watch me teach it live. If you want to take handwritten notes today, magic with pen to paper, always keep some kind of a journal or you're like put in the back of your take action workbook. You can always attach extra papers to it. So I want that take action workbook that we begin with a lot of the times in Invincible Lender. If you came to me through that route, then the take action workbook we give to you during those events. And then as you know, in the modules, we also reintroduce that to you as well. Put down my shiny little gratitude rock here. So, okay. So, yes, so take lots of notes. What we're going to go over today is common mistakes and what to do about it. Common mistakes in the marketing process, in social media, in the lead tracking or not tracking process, and then also in the fulfillment and delivery. So I'm going to do my best to get through as much as we can of it. And Christelle has a Google Doc that she's going to share, but not yet because I don't want you to see a shiny object and start reading through it and writing and running to the printer and doing all kinds of stuff. So I'm going to kind of go through it today. Obviously, this is being recorded. And if we have any technical issues, this is my first time using my Mac. So normally I have my janky PC because I'm just addicted to my old Microsoft stuff. But I do have my Mac for the first time because I have a really cool podcast today with Ricky Caruth at noon, and I wanted to have really good camera quality. So, you know how before we get into common mistakes, a couple weeks for those of you, welcome to those of you that are new. I think Lori Cinco is new. Welcome. I saw you in the waiting room, Lori. I was gonna jump in and let you in early, but I hate when people do that to me because I'm in my bathrobe and like getting my tea and looking crazy and they're like, "Hi, I let you in early." I'm like, "I wasn't ready." So, hi Lori, I saw you in there bright and early. So, has anybody like been through something recently the last week that you're like, "Oh, this is so annoying," like with technology? And how did you get through it? Like, did you push through it? Or is your pattern to get pissed off, blame other people, and then just move on to something else? So if you've gone through something like that, think about how you got through it. Was it mindset? Was it being resourceful, going on YouTube or TikTok and using it as your encyclopedia, your dictionary? So think about that and celebrate that. That's a win that I want you to put on your daily sheet. By the way, where's your wave your freak flag? Wave your freak flag daily sheet. So everybody using your daily sheet? Yes, I know James is super. James, I was just thinking about you yesterday. I don't know why. I was just thinking about you, and here you are. So hi. So I'm super glad that you're staying plugged in. One of the great things, if you're not using your daily sheet, make sure you are because it's a game changer and it's a mirror into how you operate. So one of the reasons why I celebrate you for continuing to show up to these calls is it keeps you plugged in. So there's so much power in community. Do you agree? Yes or no? Hopefully you say yes. Okay, I'm a recovering people pleaser, so please say yes. So it keeps you plugged in. Every time we unplug and we start doing some old habit that no longer serves us, but it's like it's what we know, so it feels easier in the short run, it unplugs you. So showing up to office hours, showing up with the CRM training Wednesdays, showing up to these calls, it replugs you in. So I thought it was a really good time to go over replugging us in to the common mistakes and what to do about it. Lack of consistency, daily actions, it's pretty much the daily sheet. So here's a big one I want to pause on. Posting content without the right framework. There's a module in Ignite, specifically in the beginning stages, that is hook, value, call to action. Everyone's doing videos on that framework, right? Hook is not, "Hi, this is Tiffany with Guild Mortgage." Hook is top 3 misconceptions or the number 1 myth with the reverse mortgage. Or if you have access to cash but don't know where to find your next real estate deal, listen up. Here's the 3 products that's going to help you, or the 3 ways that I can help you buy your first or your 5th investment property. You're calling out your niche, you're stopping the scroll, you're giving value, And a call to action is not happy Monday, happy Tuesday. I watch a podcast now, and every time she says, all right, guys, happy Monday. But that's cool because it really is Monday. But for you on your reels, don't say that as a call to action. Talking without leading them to the next step is not going to grab attention. It's not going to tell people what to do. Remember, I talked about this on a long time ago on a coaching call, but if you are saying, if you're not saying, hey, and if you're new to my world, follow me for more tips, right? So if you're not giving tips, you can't say, follow me for more tips. But sometimes I've listened to people's content over and over, and it wasn't until they said, follow for more. I'm like, oh, wait, like I followed this girl, Lori Harder. I think her last name's Harder. I got virtual assistance from her, so I should know her last name. She said, follow me for more. And I realized I wasn't even following her. And she has like thousands of good tips and advice and thousands of followers. But it's like people need to be told what to do. So make sure you're following this right here. So not building an email list. We know the importance of a Dream 100 list. I have talked to people that have went into my mastermind. That's $30,000. And they're like, uh-oh, I don't have my Dream 100 list. Or uh-oh, I don't have my milestone videos created. So how could you run ads and get people into a webinar if you don't have your milestone videos? How are you going to balance out setting expectations and updating people and staying off the phones? Everything I teach you is a recipe. It's done in a process where it's like building a house. So you have to have your Dream 100 list. So common mistake is not reading the contract. Everyone reads the contract, right? Yeah, somebody said, Lisa said, no excuse not to read this contract, people. I love that, Lisa. But we are in a hurry. Entrepreneurs, we're in a scramble. We're in a race. Next week, I like to kind of switch it up. So next week, I want to go over the primal questions to ask yourself that will help you not scramble in your workday. But sometimes we're focused on worry, future, money. And so we're just in a hurry and we don't take the time to slow down. You know, the saying, slow down to speed up. That loan officer is not a bad person. They're just unorganized. They're in a scramble and they made a big mistake. But here's what it costs. It costs a reputation. It costs the client money, the real estate agent, stress, took money away from them in other things they could be doing. And obviously the loan officer lost a huge transaction because it was over $1 million. So that person lost probably $10,000, $12,000, depending on how much they were paid. So that $1 million loan amount. So you can't even buy a house in this area for under 2 million. There's one on the market right now. That's 2085 and it's just sitting, but it's the lowest in Danville, California. So this person in the surrounding areas, this person lost a lot of money. So make sure you're setting expectations. Once you get that Zoom call, you do the discovery call because you track the lead, you stayed on top of them. It turns into a live deal. You're setting expectations up front. You're looking at the income docs. You're looking at the contract. You're doing your due diligence. The number one reason why realtors think that we don't train like pros is because we run from problems. We don't swallow the frog. We don't set expectations with the client. We overpromise and we underdeliver. So we don't want to be any of that, right? We don't want to be that. Got to train like pros. And if you've ever not trained like a pro, like me, 9 million times in my career, it's okay. Like, don't get down on yourself. You don't suck at life. You don't suck as a loan officer. You're just a human. But it's like, what did I learn from that? So remember William Clement Stone? Well, that's good. Well, that's good. I lost a $12,000 deal because I didn't read the freaking contract cover letter and I sent it to the processor and the processor didn't send it, then sent it to the underwriter. Well, that's good because I will never make that mistake again. Never. And own it and send that real estate agent and that client or that CPA or that FA, whoever's involved, send them an apology letter, not just an email, a video text from your heart and say, I'm actually sending you a handwritten letter because it really bothered me and I know how much stress that caused you and I want to own up to it. Not because I'm a people pleaser, but because I want to own up to it because I know what a hardship that is. Send them a handwritten letter. It'll go a long way. People forget real quick. People forget. I had a nightmare client, a husband and wife, that were the most nut jobs in the world where my boss, Bob at Guild, said, never work with these psychopaths ever again. They ended up sending me referrals and they were commenting on my videos and they're like, Tiffany's the best. They were psychopaths. But I'm like, wow, they sure forget quickly that the underwriter was questioning where the mom worked because the mom was co-signing and all this stuff, right? So I won't get into the details and the weeds, but people forget real quick, and sometimes they'll end up going, what role did I play in this? Trust me, the real estate agent, when they're finger pointing and you're taking the blame, they know what role they played in it. And people will not only forget, but they'll also forgive because time has, those, has anybody ever had something where you know that you kind of messed up, but in the moment you didn't realize it, but then like a year later or 5 years later, you're like, wow, I was way out of line. People will forgive and forget. So, all right. So that concludes our call today. We have an extra 10 minutes. So I'll give the floor to Christelle and whoever she wants to call out.
Well, I would say go ahead and raise your hand and let's see who has a question. Um, yep, just go ahead and raise your hand. Any
I had an old
question?
boss when I telemarketed in high school. He'd say comments, questions, concerns, complaints. So any of the above. Let's go. Manuel.
I'm gonna add one more to that one, Tiffany. Hallucinations.
Oh, okay. So tell me what you mean with that.
Any questions, comments, concerns, or
Oh,
hallucinations?
hallucinations. Yeah. Creating our own story in our head, right? That's a hallucination.
Yeah. But my question is, I was in module 3 earlier this morning, and it was 15 questions that every loan officer lender should know. Was it Brian Wilson? Brian, because I Googled something and I came up with the 15, but
Yeah. Brian Hale. He was my CEO at Stearns, and now he's my professional bestie. And he runs MAP, Mortgage Advisory Partners. So he is a big whale fish in the industry. So study him. Absolutely. Brian Hale, Hale.
thank you.
Yeah. So next week is going to be something really cool. It's going to be a spin-off of Mike Foster and a book he wrote and the teachings that he does. So be prepared for that. And I'll see you next Thursday. Have a great weekend. Bye.